Okay, so this question is asking whether investment is valid or not. So obviously the passage that would be the paragraph that is relevant would be this paragraph. Now it says, in this case, FDI up till 100% is allowed, except when it is in the atomic energy sector. And there it is restricted to 49%. Okay, so the correct answer here is C. Now some students mark B, but the catch in B is the act is different. It's Electricity Act 2003. This is not the case. The case is it has to be Central Electricity Regulatory Commission Regulation 2010, not Electricity Act 2003. That is why C is the correct answer. Which act would govern such investment? This is a trading platform for power exchange. It requires some foreign investment to come here. Okay, so now in the passage, two things are given to us. One is the overarching legislative framework, electricity sector is governed by Electricity Act 2003. And then in power sector, in the power exchange thing, this also governs it. So both of these, it will come under this. So this would be the overarching legislative framework, and this would be regarding FDI investment. So the answer here would be B. How are the authorizations for CGD networks awarded by the PNGRB? So in the paragraph, which is relevant for this question, this is what is given to us. Look at the keywords. Usually through a competitive bid process. So this is a norm. It's a usual norm, not the only norm, right? Unless, so this could also happen. Normally this happens, but this could also happen unless the government of India issues a specific policy direction to vest authorization with specific entities for the purpose of this. The pricing of natural gas other than gas produced by government controlled companies or by companies under specific contractual provisions with the government is not regulated. So this segment is not regulated. And here there is not a fixed norm. And it says only through a competitive bidding process. No, only makes it incorrect. Again, this is not the only way and not the only way. So there's not a fixed way. And therefore the answer for this would be D. Okay, it can continue doing business without any legal obligation. Is the advice of Akash correct? So which sector they are working in? LNG terminals. It wishes to proceed with his business in a legal and risk-free manner. No rules providing for registration of TAR have been notified. It can continue doing business without any legal obligation. So now let's look at what the passage says. It's not regulated and is undertaken under the open general license regime, although are required to be registered with this one. The regulatory body under the same body does not provide any rules. It has not been notified. So you're required to be registered, but how that is not been notified. However, entities engaged in constructive should notify it, right? So look at the words, right? So the way it is presented, it is not compulsory. It is suggested that you do that, but there is no notification by the body when to register, how to register, right? But registration would be a good act. That is what this paragraph says. And therefore the answer is this. Is theoretically right, but should notify so as to ensure due conduct. Look at the keywords here, right? So from this, we can see it is not a compulsion, but it would help a company to do this. So the answer is C. Okay, did not give a favorable decision. The decision on this specific case of law was appealed to APTEL, which also disregarded the question of whether the security checks undertaken were under the jurisdiction. Can the decision be appealed to Supreme Court? Now, what is given to us? It would not interfere unless a specific question of law is presented. So all we have to decide was, in this particular case scenario, was a specific question of law presented, yes or no? And here it is given. Specific case of law, which was this. It is categorically mentioned in the case that specific case of law was appealed. So yes, it fulfills the condition, so it could be appealed. And therefore, the answer is B. Mr. X what should Mr. X do to ensure compliance with the registration process of LNG? terminals. Now, again, in this case, nothing specific is given. The only thing is given is you should be registered, should notify to PNGRB, and therefore there is only one choice which says that, and our answer would be A. This is the relevant paragraph to answer this question. All right, so the answer is A.